Hello, hello, hello. This is Luke Hosinski, and if you are 0.01% of the population, then you are watching this live. Everyone else doesn't know about us. Anyway, this is my second installment of Senior Talk Live. It's also noted as @Senior Talk US on YouTube. If you want to join the conversation, the 0.001 person, you need to send me an email at luke@seniortalk.us. And I will respond with the link so that you can join this conversation. Well, gosh, it's the 1 o'clock hour, and here I am, Luke Hosinski, your host of today's conversation. It'll be a follow-up of yesterday's trial talk, and we had some discussion about Medicare and Part D specifically, and what drugs might be offered in the formulary in the way of weight loss drugs, such as Ozempic and Zepbound and all the others that are out there. My discovery using ChatGPT, which is my normal query device to look up things, said that Medicare Part D does not cover weight loss drugs. I asked further, does it cover pre-diabetes? Negative. So until whoever manages that Part D wakes up and understands that weight loss is a key to getting healthier, then we'll continue to eat jelly donuts and the like. Yeah, those were a killer. Carbohydrates kill. And I am a past Zepbound user, and it worked very, very well. It suppresses your appetite. So I just didn't feel like eating. And I made sure that what I did eat was very healthy, greens and protein. And I lost about 25 pounds in a couple of months, which is pretty good. The cost of Zepbound was $500 per 1 month run of the medicine. In other words, you inject it weekly, and that's with the needles that they provided for you. They're very tiny. They don't hurt at all. They're only about this big, and they're designed for subcutaneous or under your skin only. It doesn't touch a muscle, so you don't feel it going in. It's almost like a hair. And the only thing you do feel is when you push the plunger and the medication goes through the syringe and into your skin. You do notice that sensation, and you just pull out the syringe and you put it into a little red disposable. I don't know if anyone has these. Everyone should have one of these. It's for sharp things. So you open up the top, pop it in. I happen to use double-sided or double-edged razor blades in my shaving apparatus. I'll give a non-reimbursed plug for the Henson shaver. Guys, the Henson shaver, that is fantastic product. So you get a great shave. You don't get cut with it. At least I don't. So where were we? We were talking about Medicare Part D and my attempt to provide answers about it vis-a-vis weight loss medication. Mine was my run of about 3 months is Zepbound with weekly injections. So you get 4 in a pack for a month. And side note again, I went about discovering Zepbound and the other possible medications by joining Weight Watchers online. And they will hook you up with the provider of the medication that the nurse seems to believe or chooses. I mentioned that I like the company Eli Lilly, so I asked for Lilly's product, which was Zepbound. And you purchase it from Lilly Direct. It doesn't go to a pharmacy. So I had an email, paid them online, bingo, a box arrives, and I have my first month of Zepbound. So that worked out very well, suppressed my appetite, as the drug does. The problem is, and when you quit the medication, I'm highly tolerant of just about any medication. I take a whole lot for high blood pressure and some, well, I'll be honest, with some mental issues. But anyway, I'm very tolerant of medication, so there was no problem with, any kind of withdrawal or any kind of symptoms during the time I was taking Zepbound. But when you get off, I found that my appetite was on steroids. It was in warp factor 5, if you're a Star Trek Live Long and Prosper fan. And I just was hungry continuously, voracious. I make a trip to the refrigerator, whip up some things. I really like oatmeal. That's another thing. And that's, pretty much pure carbohydrates, but it's one of the better carbs. So anyway, I'd have some chilled oatmeal or whatever, but I always wanted to eat. So the weight came back, I'd say about 15 to 20 pounds of it. So I am going to embark on a weight loss method that helped me about 4 or 5 years ago. And that is, I simply watch what I'm eating. I do portion control, and I determine how many carbohydrates I'm taking, how much protein. And I was helped by an app called Lose It, Loseit, found on the App Store or probably the Chrome store as well. But anyway, this is a fabulous application. It knows each of the ingredients or what you're taking, strawberries or spinach or a meat or even a jelly donut. It has a database where it's easy to fill in. You just click on what you ate for the day and it gave you a running tally. And it's real simple math. It's like if you need 5 gallons of gas to drive to Chicago and you put 20 gallons in, when you get to Chicago, you've got 15 extra gallons, except those gallons are right here. So watching your body burns calories. That's the fuel. And it'll burn fat first, or carbohydrates, fat, or wrong, just back up. Your body burns carbohydrates first and then protein. And so if you have a protein heavy diet, the carbs go first, get burned off, and you're left with the good stuff, which is protein. So you need to know how many carbohydrates you're consuming. And the Lose It app helps you quite a bit in doing that. And so if you get into a daily regimentation of watching the app. Now, here's some good news about weight loss. Again, I gave you the example of Chicago. you could turn that into calories. And a calorie could be jelly donuts. If you're giving yourself a calorie rate of, I'm going to say 12 to 1,400 calories a day, then it really doesn't matter whether you eat a jelly donut and then a steak. It adds the tally for that particular day. And if you're under your calorie limit, then you lose the weight. If you burn more, if you exercise, then that it goes on top of it. Now, take for example, me. I'm overweight by about 20 pounds. You have my resting body calorie requirement. In other words, if I was in bed all day and my lungs went in and out, my heart pumped the blood, that burns calories. So there's a baseline. In other words, that adds up to a certain number of calories. And if you're overweight, then you can consume slightly more. But anyway, it's your resting body amount. And that's about 1,400 calories. So now tie that calorie number to the trip to Chicago. If I burn that amount of calories and do no exercise, I've lived. That's it, lived. If I start to walk around and go down the street, check my mail, et cetera, well, now, if I only consume that 1,400 calories, all that extra motion, other than sleeping in bed, will burn fat, because that activity takes away those calories. Simple math. How much do I need? How much food? What's the number of calories that food provides? And then if I exercise more than I've already burned, then I go into deficit and I lose that weight. So it's real simple. Lose It helps you to keep on that track, because, gosh, if I don't have a map to get to Chicago, and maybe I'm going to just rely on street signs, who knows? How am I going to get there? If you don't know where you are, you have to know where you are. Oh gosh, I'm in Coconut Creek, Florida, and I want to go to Chicago. So Coconut Creek would be the same as your resting calorie requirement. And driving to Chicago would be the amount of calories you burn past that starting point. And the app helps you to get to Chicago, to get beyond your resting, to burn more calories than you're consuming. You burn more calories than you're consuming, it looks around, his body says, gosh, I got to burn something. I'm going to burn fat. Hey, how about that? That's a good thing. Burning fat. So those are Luke's experiences. I, on my own, lost close to 50 pounds 3-4 years ago, just with this app and becoming disciplined. Now, I'm a guy that likes to dot their I's and cross their T's, and I like everything where it should be. It's almost like, I love this old FedEx commercial where they have all these people named Binkley, and they're in a boardroom, and FedEx has just delivered the reports, and he goes, a report for every Binkley and a Binkley for every report. So I like to run like that, organized, probably a bit OCD to go along with all the other mental issues that I have. And that organization helps me get going. And I'm enjoying that in this endeavor to provide a forum for the average senior to join the conversation, not just listen to us, join the conversation. I want you to be able to talk and participate in whatever discussion we're having. And I'm keeping it apolitical. I do not want politics to enter our conversation whatsoever. It may be a little difficult, but we'll tiptoe if we have to get close to that particular burning ember. So at any rate, along the way, I'm pretty technical. I had a technical company for over 30 years. So I have a certain intuition about things. So I'm a good guy as far as setting stuff up. And I have an intuition what to click and what to fill in. So I'm using a product called StreamYard. And it's great. It controls the stage. It's like Ed McMahon is back in the back room and says, Rock Hudson, you're on with Johnny right now. Hey, here we go, Rock. So this particular service, I'll call it, because it's not an app. You just visit it with your browser, StreamYard, and you add a camera and you add a microphone and you can add a virtual background. That's my virtual background. So let me go click something here. Okay, there we go. So where was I? My endeavor to provide this live stream talking mechanism to get everybody together, kind of like a little tiny virtual town hall where we can discuss things. I think that was, it wasn't Paul Harvey, who in the past had that, the Donahue show where he'd go into the crowd and he'd hand the microphone over and they chit chat or talk about something. That's what this is. That's what the goal is. So if you're the 1%, you could send me an email to Luke at SeniorTalk.us. So it's no .com, I'm a .us, United States. So actually to get that .com, or the .us, you have to go through some validation about you, that you're really an American. So where was I? So I'm going through this endeavor to provide this, and I asked my media for looking up anything. My tool is ChatGPT. You can go there to chat, G, golf, P, Papa, T, Tango.com, chatgpt.com. And you're presented with a browser window that looks just like you're going to participate in a message or chat session with your friends or whoever. Real intuitive. You just fill things in. And the key to being successful with ChatGPT is formulating your question. Gee, I want to know about Livestream. Now, it's totally different than Google. If you Google Livestream, you're going to get a lot of hyperlinks, the little blue places where you click and it takes you another place, and then you investigate that place and make another choice and another choice to say, oh, this isn't what I wanted. I'm going to go back to the top and try another link. Well, ChatGPT doesn't provide you with the links. It gives you the answer that you really want. It's fabulous. It's an AI tool. There are other AI tools that are very good. Tesla has one called Grok, GROK.com. Works the same way. They all work the same way. And there are beginning to be more and more of these. But I think that the market leader is ChatGPT. So the key to using these is formulating your question. And I will use ChatGPT to hopefully answer some questions like Medicare Part D and during the discussion or something else that comes up. So that's why I brought up AI. And I'm a big proponent of AI, and don't be afraid of AI. it's your friend, definitely your friend. So provides answers. So where was I? Anyway, back to, this is kind of funny. I also need a companion website. And so I have the the URL for SeniorTalk.us. You can go there. There's a temporary page there. I haven't personalized any of it. And it's just gibberish on there right now. But anyway, so I went shopping for templates to use on my website URL, SeniorTalk.us. And I can connect and become an administrator and then log in, and I have all this power over the website. Website is hosted, so that's what it's called, hosting on some system out there in the ether, and I can control it to set things up. You can purchase themes or a subscription to themes as they evolve. I'm going to a place called Envato. So Envato, you can search their site for themes. And I thought, oh, this is great. Okay, I looked through everything. And gosh, they're just the normal razzmatazz as you might see on television. And I'll segue into television someday. I don't like broadcast television. So anyway, I'm getting this and I'm like, oh, looks like an insurance commercial on television, or a washing machine, or Verizon. All of that is how these themes are written up. And so there are different people, developers, develop these themes, and then they work out a deal with Envato, and I'm sure they get some commission if I choose to use their theme. So I sorted, so I said, oh, they're just not going to work. So I added a descriptor in my search, and I said, active seniors. I really did, active seniors. And the results came back, and it's for senior living, assisted living homes, and hospice. I'm like, gosh, we're not at hospice. We're thinking people. We are powerful. Seniors have a wealth of experience. And it's amazing how much more and more, see, I was an early adopter to all this internet stuff, but more and more it's become second nature on how to use your phone, etc. And if you have problems with that, maybe we'll provide you some direction on where to go. YouTube's a wonderful resource for figuring out how to do things. So, along with ChatGPT. So I said, this is horrible. I'm not going to live stream about assisted living places, and certainly not hospices. I chose this background, a little segue to the segue, because it looks like life going in your rear view mirror. It's going past me. And it could be a really nice past, This is Miami, which is okay as cities go, but I wanted that picture of their freeways, some are told, to work for this site. I think it's a good metaphor for life passing us by, or connectors to different places, different things, that type of thing. So when I saw this photo on Getty Images, I said, I have to have it. I said, this looks really good for what I'm trying to do. So some people are getting on the on-ramp to go to a nice destination. Some people are getting off the off-ramp, and some are just passing through. So real good metaphor, and I will continue to look for a theme to put on the companion website. Now, if you are the 1%, you would have sent me an email to Luke at SeniorTalk.us, and I would provide you with the link to get here. So in the future, all you have to do to participate is send me an email, and at the next broadcast, which will be Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time. Oh, this Sunday is daylight savings, so we move our clocks back an hour. I'll move mine back 3 hours because I like more sleep. So at any rate, what was I trying to say? Oh gosh, senior moment, senior talk, senior moment. So at any rate, bingo, somebody remind me, come on. Oh, how to join the conversation. Yes. If you want to join the conversation, you have to send me an email to Luke at SeniorTalk.us, and I will send you the link to join me on StreamYard, which is the controlling software. And then I can add you to the live conversation, and we can talk about, I don't know, I'm planning on having a topic of the day, but we can talk. And I can have 3, 4, 5 people simultaneously on a conversation. Right now I have ghosts. I have a little box that says present or invite, and I have no one to invite. So hopefully in the future, this site will get some traction and take off for you folks. So I'm going to work on promoting it more. So part of what you have to do to join is you get the link from me via email. You click on the link, and you have to make sure you're going to be using a browser and that your browser supports your device, your iPhone, your iPad, your desktop computer. They're all going to use your browsers, whether you're a Safari person on a Mac or a Chrome user on Apple or on a regular Intel desktop running Windows or whatever it is now. I left that a long time ago. So at any rate, you need to set up the browser to access your camera and your microphone. So that task is required so that you can talk and you can broadcast your image to me. As far as image, if you have a good internet link, maybe a broadband type of link, you can choose for the resolution on your camera to be 1080. So if you choose 1080, you'll come in sharp, just like I think my picture is coming to you. So send me an email, Luke at SeniorTalk.us. I'll send back the link. You have your browser set up and ready to go, and it should be pretty obvious how to click and join the conversation. Boy, that'd be exciting. I really will be thrilled when someone finds me. At any rate, this is the end of Saturday's session, 1 o'clock session at SeniorTalk.us, or the email, Luke at SeniorTalk.com. You can find me on YouTube on YouTube. Other senior moment, little dribble there are the words. On YouTube, you go to @SeniorTalkUS, all one string, and it should take you to my little corner of YouTube, my channel per se. Yes, I have a channel. Isn't that exciting? I broadcast from my channel. So you can search YouTube, and there's something nice across the top of the YouTube screen. You can search by different things, by groups or names or whatever. There's a live stream button, and it'll show a list of all the live streams taking place. And you can see mine. And I think you can see mine even when I'm off the air. So you can view this episode. Gosh, it was exciting. I'm sure people will be rushing to watch this past session. So anyway, that's another way you can look in on us and find out more about senior topics. I know today wasn't entirely on senior. I had a big segue into technology, but I'd love to talk about anything apolitical. We don't want to touch the cauldron of politics. Staying away from that. Just, we're going far away from that cauldron. All that stuff mixing up. No, thank you. And we're going to talk about everyday life. And that would be adventures that you are going to have, adventures that you've had, your life experiences, what ticks you off, the grocery store scanners aren't working or something, or non-handicapped or disabled people parking in the disabled spots. That's a good one. So all kinds of topics that are geared for you and me. I'll sign off right now. I'm Luke Hosinski from SeniorTalk.us. Take care now. Bye-bye.